Uh, uh,
Yo,
uh.
this man become. Bro, I can't with this guy.
Yo,
What it do?
we live, baby.
Yes, sir.
What it do? What it do? We're back
I got
again.
my little Knicks. R.J. Barrett.
Pobrecito.
I'm just praying for a game 7 on Sunday. That's all I'm hoping for.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm with it. I would love to see that.
Hey man,
Jimmy Butler been whooping our ass. Though,
hope is a beautiful thing.
Jimmy Butler been whooping our ass, man. It's
What-
been
what
a
would you-
good. Go ahead.
What would you say is the missing or piece that needs to be replaced on that team? Because y'all definitely missing something. What do you say it is?
Nah, do you think the Warriors are missing something?
Do I think the Warriors are missing something?
Yeah. Or the Lakers are just better than them right now.
The Lakers
Or
is just
playing
a
better.
more all
I
around
think
team to
the
me.
Warriors are missing what they thought Jordan Poole would be.
Mm.
You know
Okay,
what I
so
mean?
player performance is player performance. So if we have the players,
But
who can perform-
pieces wise, I don't think the Warriors are missing
yeah,
anything.
but they're losing, and I think the Lakers. So I think the Heat.
So you
are
think y'all
just-
got the pieces?
Yeah, I think we got the pieces to win. We know how to win. I just think one, we lose to ourselves, and Miami's just a good ass team, bro. Miami's still Jimmy Butler is an amazing player, bro. He's a one of a kind player. Kyle Lowry's a hustler. He hits shots and he hits shots and he hits shots when he needs to hit shots. They're just a balling team, man. And if you don't play better with them for 48 minutes, you're not gonna win that game.
I think if Randall played like how he played that first year when nothing mattered, y'all wouldn't need nobody. But I think
He
y'all
played
need to
like that
replace
yesterday and he had his eye swollen. He got his eye poked in, and that's how he played yesterday. That's what I'm saying. He got it. You're right. He needs to
But
play
you know
Randall.
what?
His
He
own
has,
eye in
he
the
has
locker
to.
room.
You stupid. He has to also know he has it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I ain't gonna lie, bro. That press conference when he was like,
Yeah,
maybe they're just a better team or whatever. It's like, bro,
Bro,
you
he said-
can't
he said-
have that.
he was
Even
throwing shade
with
to
the Jordan
Knicks.
Poole thing, like how he didn't get he kept his back to the reporters when they was talking to him after that game, that he didn't really get no minutes and he didn't really score a lot of points. I think they took him out the whole fourth quarter and they interviewed him after. He didn't even want to talk to nobody. It's like, bro, you got to be that all the time.
No, he threw shade to the Knicks. He said that, I guess they want him more.
That's what I meant. Yeah, my bad.
The Knicks ain't playing like they want it, and that's not the case. But
it's like, bro, if that's the conversation you're trying to have with your team, have it with the team. But that's
real.
not how you
and
handle
if
that.
you want them to, do as you say, not as you do. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, you know what I'm talking.
I know
about.
what you meant.
Like
I know what you
he
meant.
got to set the standard. He has to play good too.
Mhm.
It's funny, man. That's why that ring culture is even funny to me because like I remember and I go back and watch and have seen Charles Barkley play, and he was a dog in every series. Like he was gonna get his, you wasn't gonna stop him. You know what I'm saying? Like you just had to account for he's gonna get his numbers. Who else are we gonna stop? Like, and he gets mad shade because he don't got a ring, but it's like he's the guy that was the guy. You know what I'm saying? Just because he didn't get a ring doesn't mean that he wasn't
He
one
was
of
a
those
definition
guys.
of toughness for sure.
Facts. And he was
It's,
super
it's like,
undersized
yo,
for the
real
time.
talk, 10, 15 years from now, bro, I don't think any of us would be like looking at Chris Paul like he's not Chris Paul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you can't forget like what that person was doing. You know what I mean? Like whether they got a ring or not, bro.
No, that's for sure. It was a difference maker. He has a lot of history. It sucks though. Like you would love to see them win one, you know.
Facts.
But in every sport, there's always the ones who never just won that championship, but they were championship worthy.
Would you want one of them rings like they talking about with Patrick Beverly and Russell Westbrook?
No.
Nah.
When we play Warzone, you got 0 kills and 21 damage, and you haven't played in 15 minutes, and they win the game. Do you care?
Right.
Like, fuck
Big
this,
facts.
I ain't even gonna celebrate it.
Yo, Quincy, bring up that thing we were talking about yesterday, man. That was super interesting, and I want to get into it before we forget because it was just like such a crazy like. Just go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I've been going through therapists for about a year now, and I wasn't finding one that was really doing it for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was going just because it's, trying to get right, but it wasn't like hitting the way I've been expecting it to. And so I finally found somebody that, like, off the first session, I was like, yo, what I'm saying? I think you might be the one. Like, what I'm saying? Just from the questions she was asking, the way she was taking the information I was giving her, and, the way that things were going. So basically, long story short, I was talking to Lester yesterday about, essentially, one of the things that I've been touching on with this therapist is just my relationships and how I approach relationships, how I perceive relationships, and things of that nature. And one of the things that I brought up in the conversation was just how people engage with the music versus how they engage with me in real life. And it's just a weird dynamic. And then, basically, long story short, I have this thing about my music that I've always known. And, obviously going through therapy, it's helping me kind of reveal it a little bit deeper. But, where essentially, like, it feels like every song that I make, I'm trying to prove somebody wrong, or I'm trying to prove people wrong. Like, you can hear it in the music. It's like I'm literally, like, you know what I'm saying, almost telling you, like, yo, this is me. This is what I'm doing. You can't see it, and you didn't see it. You never saw it, whatever. But I'm trying to figure out a way to, not only shift the way I think about relationships and about people, but shift the way I approach my music when it comes to that thought. Because it's okay, you hear Future and whoever, what I'm saying, make music about, like, they always hating on me, whatever it may be, but not so in your face. You may catch it, you know what I mean? But it's not so in your face. And I feel like when I'm making my music, sometimes it's like in your face. And I want to, like, kind of transition into or out of that mindset, if that makes sense. And that's
What do you
that.
think about that, Joe?
No, I definitely see how, your music is a representation of you. So what you're putting out is representing how you feel today, and that's why, like, you can tell what kind of things artists are going through by the music they put out. And that's sometimes, like, people want artists to go through heartbreak because that's when they put out their best music.
Mm-hmm.
But the same thing, that just anything that is an output of you is a representation of yourself. So you really, if people are reading it a certain way and it's not the way you want them to read it, that's when you really got to think about how you're putting your stuff out and the method you're doing, like the way you're communicating, because it's important. It's important people get the right message, but it's important that you feel like you're satisfying yourself by the message you're trying to get across when you put things out like that.
Yeah. And the thing is that truthfully, I do satisfy myself, because for me, music is therapy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, yeah, I go to mental therapy now, but in my life, since I started music, bro, music is my outlet for everything that I've gone through. I got songs about just about everything I've gone through in my life. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, that for me, I don't ever want to get rid of, because that's what brought me to music in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, how can I channel that thought and those thoughts and those energy, or that energy, into something else where it's not so personal, where it's more of a relatable thing? Because don't get me wrong, there's people that relate, but if you notice, like, the hotter songs or the biggest songs typically are either surface level, or if they are deep, exactly, they're not deep cuts, because anymore. Once you get too deep, you kind of lose a lot of people, because you had me at the surface level. You know what I'm saying?
And those are usually the ones that get skipped on the album by the people who aren't, like, really true fans of them.
Exactly. And it's like, again, I don't want to get rid of that music, because, again, if you're a true fan, you're going to love that music all day. But I also want to be able to translate it in a way that's not so deep cut.
But you know what? That's J. Cole and that's Kendrick, and that's what they've always stuck to.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And they've never always put on music that I've wanted to hear, but I still respected them. And I just know there's certain music that wasn't made for my ear from them. And then there's a bunch that is.
And the craziest part is that my favorite music, me as a person, my favorite music from J. Cole was when it was 9 times out of 10 deep cut. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, I like the new stuff, but like that Friday Night Lights, you know what I'm saying? Hearing those cuts and hearing what he was talking about then, it hit a little different for me. So you have that fan base. Do not get me wrong. I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
saying, you know what I'm
they're
saying?
loyal. They're loyal.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying I don't want to, but I want to figure out how to be able to do both. You get what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's hard to get away from the deep cut. It's like, how can I channel that deep cut into something a little bit more surface level and a little bit more ear friendly?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts,
It,
Les?
it's super interesting hearing both of y'all talk about it because it's to me it's like it's the difference between saying I'm having a bad day and saying nights like this I wish that raindrops would fall. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a different way of saying those things where like you're saying it's not so in your face, but you still the feeling is still there, and people
Mm,
could kind of apply it to themselves a little more because you're capturing the feeling, but you're not making it specific. You get
exactly.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's like you mentioned Future, and say what you want about Future, but if you listen to his music, the dude is an artist. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
he is really like you could think whatever you want to think, but if you listen to a Future album, this dude is not slacking when he's in the studio.
Yeah.
This
Mm-hmm.
he takes this serious. You know what I mean? And he got like you said, he got them surface kind of songs and everything, but every once in a while he'll throw one in there and it's like and I think you said, but it's like if you catch it, he's saying some real shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like some real like it be some of the like the realest stuff you ever heard like on a song. You know what I mean? Like countless times. And it's
Mm-hmm.
because it's not because he's not saying anything different from the point of view of like he's not going through something more special than what this other guy's going through. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? He's just finding a way to say it that just it's like poetic and it hits at the same time.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
Bruh.
that's that like magic space you want to be in. You know what I
You
mean?
Mm-hmm.
know, and you know what took me there for him, and just real quick, don't want to get too deep into future lyrics, but like when the Hendrix album came out and I heard those songs and I heard like Fresh Air and
Oh,
like
fresh air. Yeah, that
he's
was a
like
good one.
be like Janet Jackson, it's all for you. And like for him to be
Mm-hmm.
so vulnerable to just spit that bar in the middle of a hard track in an album like
Mm-hmm.
that, and it sounds so fresh, like that's vulnerability right there for you to spit a bar like that. You know what I mean? But and it
Mm-hmm.
just sounds so clean. It sounds like and it sounds so hard while you're doing it. Pause.
Bro,
Yeah.
Future got so many like not necessarily records but accolades musically, you know what I'm saying? Like he be on these lists that you be like Future's on that list, but dog, when you think about it, he's been dropping fire
Yeah.
music for as long as he's been out, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
even the stuff that people say
Mhm.
of his is whack, like the turn off the lights, like that, even that
I
stuff I
love that
liked,
shit.
you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's like, bro, he hasn't missed.
So
Yo,
let me
facts.
ask this: do you know when you put things out, there's gonna be people who normally listen to your music that might not enjoy it? Does that thought ever come across your mind?
Not really. Mainly because I know that every song that I put out, whether you listen to me or not, you may or may not like it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not in the same lane with every song. You know what I'm saying? So like if you like, for example, if you on your hippie shit and you like Good Days, I'm not expecting you to like Payback. You know what I'm saying? Like it's they're two different vibes, but at the same time, I'm trying to do me on both of them. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I categorize my music in like two categories. It's like one of them is just I like to think of it as if you don't like this song, you just don't like music. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm,
you may not like the genre, whatever. Like, but it's like, for example, like It's Okay. When I did It's Okay, I knew that that was like one of them songs that anybody could like. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
Like you don't gotta listen to a certain type of music to like that song because it just had that certain kind of sound and the catchiness with the hook, and I knew it was gonna work that way. You know what I mean? But then there's other songs like the Comfortable song that is a very like specific vibe. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And that's like people, you gotta like that kind of vibe. And it's something that I was telling you, Quincy, that like because I used to rap too back in the day, and when I made the transition to singing, it really opened my eyes to like why the singing kind of music is falling by the wayside because a lot of people don't listen to it. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
people don't
Mhm.
even look for it. You know, even R&B artists that they like, people don't even know that they're dropping new music. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm. Mhm.
somebody would say they're a Neo fan and they haven't heard a song from him since 2012. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just it's not nothing against Neo because obviously he's one of the biggest artists out and he has crazy hits, but
Mhm.
that's just how people be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like trying to navigate that as an artist and really figuring out that it's like everybody around you is not going to be a fan. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
just because you're making a certain type of music or you decided to take a certain type of journey, if in anything, it's not even just music, but in anything, once you start doing something, you got to realize that that's your journey. Like nobody
Mhm.
else signed up to do it. You know what I mean? And it's like, I always thought about it that way because, like, you know, growing up, Quincy, there were so many people that like always just expected help for things that you knew they could do themselves. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's
Mhm.
like there's certain people that they won't even start doing something unless they enlist that second hand to help them start. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I just always looked at that and I was like, bro, that's so annoying. You know what I mean? Like you don't. I don't ever want to be in that space where it's like I'm leaning on something to get me to that next step. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's like I always carried that into the music too. It's like if you like it, you like it. If not, that's why I'm doing music the way I'm doing it because I'm trying to find the fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And once I could see, like, yo, this is working, this is not working, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like after I started taking that journey, I kind of already know, like, okay, this is this kind of song or this is that kind of song. There's a song that I put in our chat that you know, some people like it, I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I can't put I can't tell you why, you know what I'm saying? There's no like it's just that magic that we talking about. It's like you don't if it don't have it, it don't have it. There's
Mhm.
Yeah.
no explanation back and forth. It's back to the drawing board. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And that's something that I was even talking about earlier on Instagram, just like about collaborating with Quincy. That's why me and him work well together because we're not attached to certain pieces of what we do. More so, like we're attached to the finished product. You know what I mean? It's like you hear what has potential in it, you figure out is this something worth exploring, and then you know swap out the pieces that don't work because at
Mhm.
the end of the day you're trying to look for that magic, and that magic is not easy no matter who you are. Like even you know even like these big artists that we talking about, sometimes they can do one album and then that's it. Like they just can't make anything as good as that thing that they made.
But the beauty behind music is that, like, going off of what you just said, is that, little slight plug, the Good Morning Love joint that's dropping next week is something that, we sat on for about a year, like we had that song just in the vault, and even we were kind of like underestimating like how good it could be until we kind of like laid it down again, better quality, because like at that time when I recorded that, I had just moved here. You know what I'm saying? Those walls weren't painted. Nothing in here was soundproofed. It sounded horrible. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even a good reference track to get an idea of what it could sound like. You know what I mean? So like that's a whole nother process within itself. And some people aren't really willing to go through that process neither. It's like trying to rush, like for example, the song that you're talking about, Les, like, even just being able to have the conversation like, yo, this could be done better, this could sound better here. It's like if we can't have that conversation, then how can we really collab? Just because you laid something on it, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that it's ready. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Let's make it great. Not just good. Like you
yeah,
said
because
last week, Joe.
yep,
Yep.
because even with my own music and my own stuff, I'm listening to it and coming back and saying, these, you know, this little transition here or these couple bars here, or man, I could sing this part a little better. Like you you're trying to make this last, and this whole notion of I record a song in 15 minutes and it's a hit. Like it's like, bro, nobody's making hits like that. Cause you know what I mean? Like if you were really making hits like that, they would be hits, you know?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no, you know, it's just one of those things where when you make music, like there's people that want to make music because there's like a coolness factor to it. And then there's people that want to make music because they really are passionate about music, and then there's people that fall in between in that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to navigate that as an artist because it's such a it's the magic like we're talking about. So you can't force it. You can't like negotiate how to make it happen. Like it's gotta happen or it doesn't happen. And if it doesn't happen, we can try again and come with that same energy of, hey, we not coming with no egos. We're not attached to none. We just attached to making the dopest song. We can either do that, or if that's not an option, then good luck to you.
For sure.
It's interesting to hear that perspective, and that's why, like, what I would do, what I would have to choose between is finding that balance, and that's something that, just in the podcast I put out before, like I wasn't. Sometimes I didn't put content out that I wanted to. I put content out that I knew people want to listen to, and there's a fine line there, and there's a balance there, and I'm sure y'all got to think about it every time y'all do something, which is. It's interesting to hear about that thought process and how
But
much
it's the
you
same thing
lean
too.
to each side. Yeah.
Like people say that they wouldn't do X, Y, and Z sometimes, but it's like it'd be the same people going to a job, taking orders from somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're willing to take orders from somebody is not on your level mentally.
Yeah, that you don't agree with.
Exactly, but you're not gonna compromise to a certain extent to make your stuff happen. You know what I mean? Like you ain't never gonna get nothing 100%. You know what I mean?
No, facts.
It's not just gonna be a the sea parting and you just walk through and then there's an oasis on the other side. Like it don't work like that.
Yep. No, it's. I think it's something that every artist has to battle with. And like there was some shit I seen Doja Cat said, like her last 2 albums were money grabs. It wasn't even like real music she even gave a shit about.
Which is crazy because like I'm not gonna flex, dog. Like Robin got that one Doja Cat vinyl on album. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. No, I fuck with Doja Cat hard.
But that album go crazy, son. Like she'll play that junk on a Saturday or a Sunday, and I'll let that thing ride all the way through, no skips.
I
like,
fuck with Doja Cat. That's I thought that was the sound.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's what she's like. I'm gonna go not make no music, and y'all can enjoy that fake pop shit y'all hear on the radio.
I'm interested now to hear her what she's trying to put out. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of artists
go ahead.
No, I'm saying a lot of artists are doing that now. It's like they're like The Weeknd. He said he's trying to kill The Weeknd. And he's like, this might be the last project with him as The Weeknd, and that's the end of The Weeknd. And he maybe go forward using just Abel.
I would be interested in hearing that sound.
Yeah, he confirmed it. He's like The Weeknd is gonna die. He's like, this might be it. He's like, but it's definitely something that's gonna happen. He said, I've said everything I could say as The Weeknd.
As The Weeknd. I love that you brought that up, man, because that's literally a perfect way to kind of cap off exactly what I just said in the beginning. Because it's like, I know for a fact that whether my mentality changes on people or whatever it may be, my approach to music may always, for me, be that way. Not like, but just that deep and that intuitive and that conscious, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the thing that, I battle on the flip side of what they battle that it's like, that pop shit's too much. That I'm not trying to do the Weeknd shit no more because I've said all I've said in that way. I am able. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're on the flip side of it, and I'm on the other side where it's like, I'm Quincy Jamal. This is what you get.
Yep.
But at the same time, how can I be more pop or be more socially accepted? Appealing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's very interesting to hear that. I'm glad you brought that up because that's a super dope way to kind of like, put the other end of it on this conversation.
And to think about how far he had to get in his career to finally be, and no pun intended, able to do that. You know what I mean? Like he had to get that established to be like, all right, I think I could cut off The Weeknd now and still be successful after this point. Yeah. It's a lot to think about as an artist.
Yeah, it's dope because it's definitely, like I said, you're trying to chase magic, it's that thing that I've mentioned a couple of times of like with music, you're like going somewhere, you're transporting somewhere to bring something back. Like it's like a vibe that when people hear it, it's just undeniable. And when you can do
Yeah.
that, it's like there's no right way to do it, there's no wrong way to do it. It's just like you gotta follow whatever it is inside you, because that's really what makes the music what it
So,
is. You know what
and
I'm
it's
saying?
perfect segue to where I think we could wrap this show up where we have a few minutes left. The Ice Spice sound. This thing, yo, I'm telling you, it's grown. It just keeps, bro. Uh, all these other women artists don't get invited to all the shit she's doing, all the Met Gala. She has like she's being flown to Paris. She has sponsorship ads, contract, and she's still making music. And then she's not even put a new album. She's re-releasing her first album with a like
With
extended
more.
edition.
That's smart.
And
I will give
and
her. That's
yeah,
smart.
and she already got Nicki co-signing her as a princess. Like it's the blueprint of
She's like a female Pop Smoke to me, to be real. Like
okay,
she
yeah,
found a way
yeah,
she
exactly.
I
found a
That's
like
where
way to
that.
Pop
like
Smoke would have
cross
go.
over, because Pop Smoke did the same thing. He kind of crossed over into that like other space where he was like,
So here it is. Here's where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
How long before she lets that sound go and she transfers to the
Well,
appealing and the more popular side?
I
But
think that
I
kind of
hope she
goes
doesn't.
I think
mm-hmm.
that kind of goes to what we were originally talking about with
Exactly.
Ice Spice. It's like we got to see where her sound goes and how it transitions, how she sounds
Mm-hmm.
in 5 years, 10 years, like, and see
Yeah.
what kind of turns it takes. Because
Mm-hmm.
you know, like we said about Future, bro, there's only certain people that they just got it, and
Yeah.
it
But I
just
think Future is giving us what he gave from day one and now. So like when I talked about from the beginning the Cardi B effect, Cardi B on Bodak Yellow wasn't the Cardi B who drops tracks today.
Of
Two
course.
different Cardi
And,
B's.
and that and that's what I feel like. I'm gonna be real, bro. Even when I heard Bodak Yellow, bruh, Bodak Yellow was hard, bruh. I saw, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like I
yeah,
saw it
I was
live.
playing
Like
that
I
shit
was
at the
like,
pool
yo,
for
she
sure.
rocked the show and everything.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sold on her just yet.
Yeah.
As a superstar. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But as the sound changed, and I was like, all right. By the time she did that track with Adam Levine and that album, I was
Mhm.
like, all right, she's
Yeah.
on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm waiting on for Ice Spice. Like, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
bro. I'm here for it. I love what they're doing with her. She has the image, bro.
Yeah.
She has it.
I'm telling
You
you,
know what
she's
I'm
gonna be a
saying? Like,
superstar, dude.
absolutely has it.
She's gonna
But
be a
I'm just
superstar.
interested to see how the music translates over time. That's it.
Yeah.
Because
And I want her to keep being the Ice Spice she is today when she can be and not let that shit go.
mhm,
yeah, because that added like it's kind of like I was saying, like that attitude and who she is what makes the music.
Hmm.
It's
mhm.
not she's not it works for her because it's not her doing something. Like it's just like the same thing the way I feel about 21 Savage. Like
Yeah.
he's so dope to me because like
Naturally.
it just you could tell he ain't faking it. If he is, he's doing a real good job because it just
Yeah.
sounds so authentic. Everything he
Mm,
says, the
I've
way he makes
never
his music.
doubted like that's not who he is.
mhm.
Great point. I think he is a truly genuine artist. And if he's not, he's doing a hell of a good job at it.
Exactly. And it's like there's certain people that just know how to tap into who they are, but make it appealing. And that's what she's been able to do. And hopefully she can keep advancing that and keep taking it to the next level.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
She definitely got a super unique voice.
Agreed.
A lot of times you just keep listening just to be like trying to catch the vibe of the voice. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
Like it's kind of like
And bro, and if they just keep building that team and the best production, the best writers, the best mixers,
That's
the
what I
best
feel like. You know, as long as
this
she can get the right people around her, bro. They can push her far
yeah,
under
that's
and
what I'm
under the
saying.
right label. I mean, I can't remember what label she's under, but as long as they do what they need to do, they definitely can push her far. But they just gotta do what they gotta do.
No,
yeah.
I've sensed it. I've seen it. Like, and kind of one more thing I want to say is that we mentioned in the chat, like when Wayne spit his verses on "So Far Gone," and for Drake being probably maybe a couple levels down from Ice Spices now, but I think Wayne just seeing that this shit's gonna hit for a long time. Like this dude's gonna stick
I'm not
around
gonna
for a
lie though,
while.
bro. I'm not gonna lie. Drake, when I first heard Drake, dog, it wasn't very hard to assume that he was gonna be
Yeah.
a big
Well, no,
deal.
I'm talking
Like,
about So Far Gone. Like he had what Celebration and Homecoming. I think that's what. No,
So Far
no, that
Gone was like
that,
from when anybody could see that. Like
yeah, I'm
from the
talking about
moment I
comeback
first
yeah.
heard that.
season. I'm talking about
Comeback
comeback
season. Yeah,
season.
that's what I'm saying.
Comeback season.
He
I
didn't have
knew.
Wayne until So Far Gone, so he had to do all that before he had Wayne.
But that's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm not going against what you're saying because I'm here for what you're saying. I still got to see it, but I'm here for it. But that's what I'm saying is that I didn't need Wayne and Drake's corner to say like Drake, yo, I saw Drake as he was gonna be big back from I think that song July, which I think he did with Janae Aiko way before either of them were anybody. Janae Aiko wasn't anybody, he wasn't anybody, and that was a banger. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I hear what you're saying, dog. I just like even with the label, I have to still see it, bro. I gotta still
Episode
see it, dude.
250. I'm gonna love to talk about this. Can't wait.
Yo, I can't wait. I'm not gonna lie because I really want you to be right. I really
we're
do.
gonna have the clips rolling in the background of the YouTube video.
Yeah, exactly. I really want you to be right.
Of you saying it.
It's always super interesting to hear an artist like that and think like, dang, there's so much you could do there. I wonder what they're gonna do. You know,
how long will it last?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not up to them. And if she stays humble and if she keeps making the right decisions, she can get crazy big, bro.
And I'm gonna be real. If this was 2011, dude, I would have easily said you're right, absolutely. Yeah. But as 2023 and the way attention spans are now, bro,
because anybody can get there, but not everybody can last.
It's hard, bro. It's so hard to keep people there. It's so hard. Yeah. Like, let's be real, bro. Who has come out after like 2017 that stayed relevant? You know what I mean? Like a lot of people that we consider like legends or relevant are from way before that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you got a good point there. Travis Scott.
He was before 2017. I was listening to Travis Scott, I think, in early,
I think 14 is when he really like.
Yeah. I didn't catch on until like 18.
And he was even.
I was super late on Travis Scott. Shout out to my boy Matt. He's my boy's little brother, and he thought I was crazy not knowing Travis Scott. But that was like at the time when I wasn't even really like paying attention to music. I wasn't even really doing music. I was like, that was like 2014 exactly. I wasn't even.
It was 2014.
Yep. But same thing. I caught him late, and I remember hearing just like that album, the Rodeo, and hearing the Astro World joint. Like I remember hearing it when it dropped. I was like, oh my gosh. That was one of those where it was like, oh no, this is different.
Yeah, for me it was Goosebumps. After Goosebumps, I was sold.
I think Goosebumps is on Days Before Rodeo, right? Or is that on Astro World?
No, that's the one. That's the one where he was like a Ken doll, a black Ken doll on the cover, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's Days Before Rodeo. Yeah.
Travis Scott was one of those that I went backwards. You know what I'm saying, and listened to his older stuff. And then I liked a lot of it. He's dope.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, we about to drop that. Good Morning, Love, May 19th. It's getting a lot of good feedback, the little clips and stuff, the teasers. I can't wait for people to see the video. It got a cool little funny story to it. Has some classic little clips in it. I'm holding off on the little clips, yo.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? The little funny ones. I want to start using them once we drop it.
This man Joe just turned you into a GIF, bro.
Dog, that was hilarious. And then the one of you, dog. The little video of you, bro. That shit. Oh my god,
it's a good video. Johnny did his thing with that one, man. For sure.
Shout out to Johnny, man. We caught a vibe with that video, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, and if you on this episode, then Reminisce has dropped. It's dropping tomorrow, but I think this thing gonna be out till Tuesday. So yeah, man, go ahead and tap that in. Check that out.
If you
man.
haven't listened to Reminisce, go back, check it out at I am Quincy Jamal.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all tap in. Anything you got for him, Joe?
Nah, man, y'all stay butter.